Hi folks, Greg Koch here in the Wildwood lair with my holiday sweater on, Santa Squatch, coming on strong. And we're telling some Christmas stories today. Wildwood story time. We like to tell stories here at Wildwood every now and again, and the kids seem to dig it too, so we're going to tell some stories. The question has been posed, have I gigged on Christmas itself? And the answer to that question is yes. We used to actually play every year at a place called Brass's Pub in beautiful Brookfield, Wisconsin on Christmas Day night. And I found that to be a very festive day because you know why? Here's the deal. You're hanging out with your family on Christmas Eve, Christmas morning, you're doing the do. By the afternoon of Christmas Day, you're familyed out. Nothing sounds better than coming out and hearing the pulsating rhythms of today's rock music, or yesterday's. So the hits, as I like to say, the hits of yesterday and never. And I serve them up piping hot. And we used to do that on Christmas Eve for many, many years in a row. My band, Greg Koch, on the tone controls. And then sometimes we'd have other special guests. Actually, my buddy Brian Wirt used to do it with me. I think me and Brian, and we'd have a different rotating roster of individuals that would come out and engage in sinister songcraft on Christmas. And we'd have a good old time. But nowadays, that kind of activity has been locked. I don't really do much stuff around that because, you know, I got the kids, I got the wifey poo, and I'm traveling so much doing stuff. So the Christmas time and the New Year's time are kind of sacrosanct. I like just saying that, sacrosanct. That's a fancy word, Paul Brown. Can you dig it? So I don't really do any gigging on Christmas Day anymore, but I used to, and it was a festive time. Because as I said, it's a good potential gig night because people have had it with their family. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you play any kind of blues-oriented music that speaks to the, you know, shall we say, feelings of woe that needs to be, you need some solace from some dulcet tones of musical activity. It's good to kind of escape the family unit. Not that I'm saying that hanging out with family isn't good times, it usually is, but sometimes you need a break. Am I right, Paul Brown? Paul, fellas, hey, what? You need a little break. And that's where music comes to call. But you won't be hearing it from me on Christmas because you know where I'm going to be? Hanging out with the fam, kicking it old school. You know what my favorite time about hanging out with the family? Paul Brown will tell a little story, a little addendum. So usually what we do is we pick out a movie to watch. And if we don't go to a movie on Christmas night, we'll stay home and rent a movie. But the funniest thing, even though isn't that horrible? We sit around, we can't figure out what movie to watch. So it's me and my 4 kids and my lovely wife. And we're all old enough now where the language is fully adult, if we're honest. There's curse words being used. My son, Dylan, you know, he talks like a doggone sailor. I'm just going to throw that out there. So I'll be sitting around and we'll be going through the options on, you know, Amazon Prime or pay-per-view or whatever the case may be. And of course, it takes like a half hour, 45 minutes of scrolling through these movies to find something we can all agree upon. And in that period of time, we have savaged every movie, every actor, every premise. We just go around. It's almost like that show with the 2 robots, the Monster Horror Killer Theater. Remember that when the space, well, you know what I'm talking about, Paul Brown. What was it called? Koch Savagery 3000 is what we're going to call it. Because we're sitting around and it's just like, until finally we agree upon something we can all want to watch together, which is very, very difficult. So in lieu of us doing it, is that what it's called?
Mystery Science Theater.
Mystery Science Theater. Yeah, thank you. We're really on top of it, aren't we, P? So folks, what I'm going to tell you is, if you're not out at a gig on Christmas night, argue with your family and savage every movie and every actor that's ever been in your quest to find something decent to watch. And may you and yours have a pleasant holiday season. Can you dig it? From Greg and the Wildwood team, adios!